Hello. Hello, Allegiance fans.
We haven't started yet.
This is such a typical YouTuber collab. I've never done any of this, like sitting
Really?
on a tree.
I know. Hi! It's Elisa, not Alyssa, and it's
Sonia Candy.
and it's
Davide from Podcast Italiano.
exactly. And yes, your dreams have come true. We are all together, making a video together. We are so excited. And what are we talking about today, guys? We're talking about things we love about English, because we give a lot of love to Italian on this channel. We don't always give lots of love to English, and I personally love the English language. As we were talking about the other day, I love the fact that my native language is English. I actually feel very lucky that it's my native language, so I just thought we should give it some love.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the things I love about English is just the way it sounds. Especially, now I love Italian, I'm obsessed with Italian, and I think you guys all know that. But there's something about the pronunciation in English that's just like nice. It's like very round, very open. It allows a lot of space to be very expressive.
Yeah.
It just sounds flattering. Does that make sense?
Yes. I mean, I sing. I love to sing. And I feel like it's so easy to sing in English and change the way you pronounce words.
Yeah. What about you?
I always describe English as liquid, or at least to me it has this very liquid sound to it, which I know is a very personal thing.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, like when I hear English words, they sound very, you said round. To me, they sound liquid, like the L, the R sound.
Yeah.
We don't have those sounds in Italian. We have which are more precise. And all this is arbitrary, or this is very personal, but that's how I would describe it.
I thought this would be interesting because we have a bunch of different perspectives. Like we have my perspective as a native speaker, and then they're both Italian but from different parts of Italy, and they both speak English really well, which I don't know if you guys have even heard Davide speak in English, because you don't do it
What
very
about
often.
Sonia?
No, but you
Oh,
speak
you
English
does it.
because you teach it. So I thought it would be interesting to talk about that. There's something very friendly sounding about it too. Like I feel like it's like inviting. It's like a very inviting language, you know? But that also interacts with the culture as well.
Yeah, maybe the fact that you always go up at the end of sentences like this. You know,
Like this?
what is it called?
Oh,
the,
up-talking.
Up-talking.
Yeah.
We're all
Not always.
up-talking all the time. Yeah, but that's a friendly thing to do.
Yeah.
I feel we do it a lot, to be honest.
Sorry?
I've been listening to the way we talk in our little group of friends.
Yeah.
We do a lot of up-talking. That's probably the norm nowadays in English. Like everybody talks.
Well,
like
I guess
this.
it's a way to sound less like forceful, to sound not too serious, to sound like you're giving the other person space to talk.
You don't want to be too assertive.
Yeah, like too aggressive.
Yeah,
Right.
too aggressive.
I love how you can say the same thing like different ways. Just like, what did you eat? What'd you eat? Like, I just love it.
There's like ways to squish the words
I know, I
together.
love that.
English is such a flexible language.
Yes.
I feel like you can make up so many words. Although I have to think of a good example, but it's like you could put like if I on anything. Like
The thing
even, you know, like Spotify, like the name.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you put if I on anything, or like.
Which would be izzare in Italian.
Yeah.
It's
But I feel
longer.
like in Italian, I think you can do it, but I feel like it's less common to make stuff up. I feel like in English, we're always like inventing words.
Well, the thing you can do in English is you can change the grammatical category of the word. So if it's a noun, you can turn it into a verb. You just add to in front of it, or
Google.
the other way
Google, yeah.
around. Yeah, to Google. Or for instance, you have a likes
To
on
like
Instagram.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
in a
you had the
different
verb
way.
to like, and then like becomes a noun.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the case before. So English can do that very easily, while Italian can turn nouns into verbs by adding are and then
Yeah.
conjugating it. But we can't really do the opposite. I mean,
Yeah, like
it's
if I
harder to
said,
do.
like, we should sushi tonight, it still makes sense.
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Like you can kind of stretch the rules, because I feel like a language like Italian has so many more grammatical rules. It's like a bit more strict. So in order to do that, especially for someone like me who's not a native speaker, like you really have to hear somebody else do it first to know that it's like acceptable to do that. Whereas for English, it's like, I feel like there's so many cases in which you kind of mess with the language that it becomes a little bit more acceptable. Does that make any sense?
One other thing, I think English is associated to internet culture, at least here in the West. I know there are probably other internet cultures in Chinese and Japanese and other languages, but here in the West, I would say English is the official language of the internet. And so like all of this meme language, all of this meminess comes from English, even into Italian.
Yes.
Like all these words like meme or I don't know, cringe.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
That all
Cringiare.
comes through the internet.
Yeah.
Talking about like the meminess of the internet.
Just the entertainment culture, like that's what she said. Now it's something that we always say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, even in Italian?
I feel like my friends do.
Who are
I didn't know
into
that.
English.
Yeah.
In the office.
That's the thing, it's like English has become such a essential thing, and I feel like so many people are kind of put in a situation where they have to learn it, and then because a lot of people are learning it, it kind of bleeds into their, because you know, once you learn another language, there are just some things that sound better in the other language. Like there are lots of things that sound better in Italian, and what happens is when you speak your native language, you'll have those situations where you wish you could use those other words. And so I feel like so many people learn English and then they know how to use those things, and then it bleeds into their language.
Like my husband's American and I'm Italian, and we switch a lot.
Yeah.
Because some things are just better in the other language. You're right.
Sure, if you're in a group that's bilingual, you can do that, and that's a lot of fun because like we do all the time.
Yeah.
There's Italian words, English construction.
Yeah, because all of us are bilingual at a minimum. Like you speak more languages, you also speak Spanish, right?
A little Japanese.
Yeah, and Japanese, yeah. So like I'm the loser that only knows a few languages. So anyway, no, but the point is because we all speak English and Italian very well, we go back and forth constantly between the different languages, which is really cool.
Something I love. You know what I love about English. You know, I told you.
Oh,
Rap,
vocabulary?
slang.
Like the word? Slang.
Rap,
yeah.
I love it. I love the fact that, I mean, okay, of course, some words are more popular in some states, but in general, like slang words, like you can understand kicks or whip or certain words in the whole continent, like in America, Canada, North America,
It's true. Which I find so interesting that Sonia's so into slang, but like for me, there's some, I don't know why, but my English is like stupidly neutral. It's like stupidly neutral, like the fact that I could say, it's just like, I love English. Anyway, it's so weird, like I don't actually use that much slang at all. So like, okay, Sonia, like every day basically posts stuff on her Instagram, and she's always posting, translating songs, and there's a lot of slang in it. And the thing is, I don't really listen to rap very often, so that's where a lot of that slang is. And there's so many things that I don't know.
Do you learn from her
Instagram
stories?
I learn from her Instagram stories, and I'm like, I just don't use them. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just like my friend circle doesn't use that, you know, or like my family doesn't really.
We should do a video on English slang, and you're gonna challenge a native speaker of English.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes. What's ice?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, it's like.
It could be like jewelry,
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know this. Oh my god, I'm so incompetent even in my own language. That's amazing. Okay.
No. I like it because, for example, in Italy, usually slang is like part of the dialect and it's more regional.
Yeah.
And like something that we say in Rome, you might not know in Turin.
Yeah.
But in America, it's a little more
universal.
Exactly.
It's more spread out.
I guess because slang in the US, it's linked with rap culture, which is probably kind of stems from like African American culture. Mostly.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's associated with that, and that's like a universal subculture, if that makes any sense.
Because like there are lots of words that we have that are specific to specific places. Like for example, in Canada we say toque for like those hats, but like nowhere else do they say that. You know, they just say like a beanie. No, they say beanie in the States. We say toque in Canada. So there are some words that are specific to specific states and specific areas, but there still is a lot more overlap, I think.
Yeah, even just like, I don't know, I'm trying to go.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah.
Those quick ways to say things, which is sometimes difficult when I'm teaching someone and I have to slow myself down.
My favorite.
Kinda.
I'ma go. We have I'm going to go, I'm gonna go,
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go, I'ma go.
Yeah.
I'ma go.
We don't have that in Italian, I feel like. It depends on the city.
Probably have a little bit, but we have less contraction, I think. Contraction in Italian than you do.
We do it all the time.
I mean, we do in Roman, but it's in Rome. It's not.
Sure.
It's not universally.
Like, exactly.
But that's, I don't know, do you have something as extreme as I'ma go? From I'm going to go.
That's ridiculous.
I'ma go.
Namo. Andiamo. Yeah, I know.
The thing is, it's already short. It's already one word.
I would say in general, English is convenient because it's shorter, it's faster than Italian, which is not necessarily a good thing, but it's good in certain situations. Take an English book and you compare it with the translated version of that book.
Shorter.
It's going to be usually, I would say, 15% shorter in English at least.
Even things like the possessive makes so much more sense to me in English. It's like Elisa's phone, apostrophe S, that's it. Instead of saying Italian, il telefono di Elisa, it's like, the phone of Elisa. In English, there are these constructions that are just a little bit more concise.
But you always say my with like body parts, like I brush my teeth or touch my shoulders.
Yeah, but you guys do the same thing because you say me before the verb.
Yeah, that's faster. I don't know.
No, you know why? Because I guess it would be longer in Italian if you said i miei denti.
Yeah.
But instead you just say mi lavo i denti.
Yeah.
But you still say mi.
Yeah, like non mi toccare la spalla. But we wouldn't say non toccare la mia spalla.
It depends though, because you would say I can't find my car. We would say non trovo la macchina.
Right.
In that case, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes you don't say mine.
It's not a reflective in that case. Lavarsi i denti is not a reflective. In that case, it's a reflective, but non trovo la macchina is just
we all know that it's my car.
Yeah. It's implied. There are some cases where in Italian there are more efficient things. But generally, I feel like English is just like to the point. This is an example one of my students gave me. My wallet got stolen. Instead of saying mi hanno rubato, it's cool to use that passive voice in that way. Like it got stolen. It could have been one person, it could have been multiple people. You don't know. Like it just makes it more open. Whereas mi hanno rubato il portafoglio, it sounds like multiple people did it to me, like from my perspective, you know?
Yeah, I love it when we do those things with the hyphen, like it's a 2-hour train ride.
I love that.
2-hour flight. So convenient.
Like how would you say that in Italian?
È un viaggio di 2 ore.
Yeah, it's a trip of 2 hours. Basically, instead of it's a 2-hour trip. See, that's what I mean. Like the order flips slightly to make it shorter, and it's like it's so satisfying. That's something that I like about English in general. The fact that there's no gender. It's just easy. Like, why does a table have to be feminine? And like a chair has, you know what I mean? Or masculine, a chair has to be feminine.
I kind of like that about Italian.
You know, it's cool when you mastered it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's not really useful. I mean, nothing in grammar is really fundamental. Because when you start looking into world languages, there are languages that don't have features that for us are so basic, like the future tense or the past tense. And there are languages that do without those things, like Chinese or Japanese.
Yeah, exactly.
And so there's nothing that's really fundamental because you can always express every concept with, you know, in a certain way. If you can say something that's complicated because there's a complicated grammar feature, it's cool because you feel cool. Like
I agree. I like that, even though I agree it's not convenient.
There's one tense that I like in English, the I have been doing tense. I always forget.
Oh, like lately I've been
doing that. I've been watching lots of Netflix shows, which we don't have a tense like that in Italian. We have to say di recente guardo un sacco ho guardato un sacco di film.
Ultimamente faccio.
Yeah, so we
Ma non si usa anche il gerundio? Ultimamente sto guardando.
Yeah, you could say that, but we don't have a single way of translating I have been doing this, I have been watching. So that's a nuance that we have to express
with another word, ultimamente, like lately.
And that kind of proves my point that you can express the same idea with different tools, but it's cool that you have a specific construction in that case.
The future perfect as well, like I love that. Like I will have lived here for 2 years. Like, but maybe in Italian we would say like saranno 2 anni che vivo qui. Like we use a different construction. Like l'anno prossimo saranno 2 anni che vivo a Roma, but maybe you would say like I will have lived here for 2 years.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Or also the future continuous, I will be doing.
I
will be. We can't say that actually. Starò vivendo, it's not correct in Italian.
Yeah, that's actually a lot harder to figure out how to say.
Starò vivendo in America.
Quando arriverai io starò mangiando un gelato.
Alright,
Can you say that?
Yeah, I think you can. But still, not the most common.
Perception verbs, I guess that's what they're called, like sounds, taste, smells.
Oh, I hate that there's only...
Oh wait, I'm getting a call, sorry.
5 minutes later.
The fact that in Italian, sentire is for like so many senses.
Sentire has so many meanings. Listen to this, feel this, taste this, smell this.
You have to just get it through context. Like in English, we have watch, look, and see. We have 3 relating to the eyes. We have hear and listen. We have feel, we have touch, we have taste, smell.
It tastes good. Like, how do we say that? È buono.
Like you can't
but
say
it's
it
cool
in
that you
way.
have like a series of verbs. It tastes good, it sounds good, it feels good, it smells good.
And it's the same
Italian
for
would say ha un buon gusto or è buono, ha un buon sapore,
it has a good flavor.
Un buon odore, so we don't have verbs. And I think it's kind of cool to have a verb to say tastes good or it sounds good.
And sembrare. You look happy, you sound happy.
Oh yeah, you look,
seem,
you look, actually you look happy. That look verb is very hard to translate.
Sembri felice, but you sound happy. Sembri felice.
Yeah, you sound, you look, you seem.
Sound happy, how would you say that in Italian? Dalla voce.
Quello che sento, dalla voce,
So English conveys extra information here, which is cool. Like, I'm saying where I get that impression from. From your voice, from the way you look.
In Italian also, fare means friggin' everything, which in a way is kind of convenient, but on the other hand, it's cool that English separates make, do, take. Like, make is for something you create. You know, you make a cake, you make a painting.
But what do you make a decision?
I don't know, we're dumb.
I'm handcrafting a decision.
I think a lot of people think English is incredibly difficult, which in some ways it is. There's also a lot of cool things about English, and I feel like a lot of people learn English because they have to, because of work or whatever. They're forced to do it in some way, but I think it makes sense to like give a little love to the language.
It has such an interesting story, the English language. If you get into it,
I love it.
Me too.
It changed my life.
Yeah.
English changed my life. Married an American, teaching English, traveling.
Languages change your life, my friends. So if you want to learn a language, do it. Do it now.
Do it now.
Yes. Peer pressure.
For these guys.
By the way, that right there is our love for English. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. Please follow these lovely people. And if you're coming to my channel from their channel, subscribe. I would love you forever. Yes, Lingotubers in Rome.
2021 in Rome. And we have another Lingotuber.
Another Lingotuber's coming. Come in the video. What do you think is cool about English?
You should have been in the video.
I know you should have, but he friggin' wasn't here.
I'm sorry.
You should be. I'm disappointed. He was late, so he missed the video. I'm joking. We love you anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Honestly, I know people say it all the time, but when you like the video and comment and subscribe and do all that stuff, it really helps the video. It helps other people to see it, and it tells YouTube that you guys are enjoying the content. So thank you so much for that. Also, a very special thank you to all of my patrons who help to make these videos possible, to make me creating content possible, and who help me survive. If you would also like to support this project, support my channel, support me in general, the best way to do that is through Patreon. You'll also get access to lots of exclusive content. You get early access to videos, you get the longer cuts of my videos, you get translation challenges. There are all sorts of things going on, so have a look, join if you want. I would really appreciate it. I would love to see you there. And that's all. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.